Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sitar Gurukul. On the last episode, we started learning a bit about Alaap. In today's lesson, I'm going to give you part 2 of that Alaap. Now, as I have mentioned, that we always start the Alaap from the lower octave or the mandra saptak. The mandra saptak is also, if you want to look at it visually, it's going to be lower from ni. So you have sa. This is where the mandra saptak is going to start. So this area. So we've already done a basic Alaap, a simplified version of Alaap. It's not necessarily going to sound very nice because the core purpose of starting to learn that part was just to get you to the Alaap game, if I may call it. I'm going to give you the second part, and I'm going to give you a total of 4 parts with this. So the last part was so I'm hoping that you could play somewhere around that part. Now I'm going to give you a second part. So the second part is going to be using re to go to ga. So there are standing notes in Yaman. So what do I mean by standing notes? The name is in fact pretty much self-explanatory. What it means is standing notes are notes that you can use to stay on. So for example, sa is a standing note. I can either start or finish a sentence with sa, but you cannot stand in ni. So if I were to end a sentence with ni in Yaman, it's going to sound like the sentence hasn't finished. So it's not a full stop. So we could also use, for example, sa. We could use ga. We can use pa. So these are pretty much the basic standing notes of Yaman. On another episode, I'm going to explain what vaadi and samavadi is. So today's lesson is we are going to use 4 lines to go to ga. Now there is one thing that you're going to tease your audience by giving hints of ga or making incomplete sentences. So when you essentially making a space, a special place for the ga to appear. So line number 1 of part 2. So I'm using a bit of alankar. I don't want to explain exactly how I'm doing it, but rather I want you to try and figure out by listening to it that how I'm playing these alankars. On a later episode, I'm going to teach you exactly how I'm doing this. So line 1. Line 2. So the first line is da ni re. Second line ma da ni re. And then ni re ga re. Here you have to use slide. So you use one stroke and jump from ni to re and then stop it with your index finger. Here, to play this, you have to ensure that you have a proper line on your index finger, and you have to put enough pressure and not let it go to carry forward the sound over the fret. So this is how to do it. It's a sliding common technique. You get it in guitar as well. So and then one more time. Last time. So line number 3 and number 4 eventually showing the ga. So I'm going to play it from the top. have it 4 lines. Now there are ways where you can go either towards the top or towards the bottom to go to the top later again, but we are going to come to that later. On the next episode I'm going to show you a bit more, and after that I'm going to show you a bit more. The goal is to explore the main portions of Yaman and ultimately reach Sa. Of course, we are going to build on that. You can hear recordings of great maestros who are playing at least 30 to 40 minutes of just Alaap and then Jor. So sometimes even artists take up to an hour just to finish the Alaap and Jor portion. But usually the average time I've heard is somewhere between 15 to 20 minutes, sometimes just a little bit more. So more on this later. I hope you're practicing the previous materials that we have been given. And this is pretty much it for today's lesson. See you on the next class. Till then, practice hard. Take care.